I've been a Toastmaster for the past decade, but if I could go back to day one with the knowledge that I have now, here are 8 things I wish I knew about Toastmasters from the very beginning. The first thing is that it's okay to be nervous. I can tell you that to date, when I give a presentation, I get nervous every single time. And what I found from speaking to many presenters of all abilities, from beginner to professional, is that it's incredibly common to have nerves before presenting in front of a group of people. In fact, I would say a very small percentage of people don't experience those nerves, and they're not necessarily the best public speakers. Sometimes they're more amateur speakers who don't have the nerves, but it doesn't mean that that makes them a better presenter. Nerves are simply our body getting us ready to present, and it signals that we care, that we want to do a really good job. And while we can reduce some of the anxiety around public speaking, I don't think the nerves truly ever go away. Even if we become professional keynote speakers who tour the world giving presentations, I still think that there will be some level of nerves. So if you are joining Toastmasters and it makes you very nervous, that's okay. Toastmasters will reduce your anxiety, but the nerves will always still be there. And when you learn that that's a good thing, it's quite empowering. The second thing I wish I would have known from day one is to think of content prior to the meeting. With my Toastmasters Club in Canada, our Toastmaster of the Week will send an email illustrating what the theme of the meeting is. And it took me a few years to figure out this trick, but something I do before every meeting is I think about that theme and I try to think of a story or some form of message that relates to it. And I come to the meeting with some form of preparation. This has proved to be very beneficial for a couple of reasons. The first is that if I am to be called on in table topics, there is a high percentage chance that I'm going to be asked a question surrounding what it is that the theme of the meeting is. And so if I've already gone through the process of thinking of a story or something that relates, there's a good chance I can take the question and I can weave it into that story I already have in mind. And this will come across as if I'm a table topics pro, because I was able to take a seemingly random question and answer it with ease. But another big benefit of coming to the meeting prepared is that you can step into some of the roles if somebody doesn't show up. Roles like giving the toast, or doing the humorist or inspirational role, or some of the other roles you can step into because you've already thought a little bit about the theme and you have something that you can say. So think about the theme and come to the meeting prepared with a bit of content. Another thing I wish I knew at the very beginning of my Toastmasters journey was the thought of taking on every role as soon as possible. Thankfully, I did have a fellow Toastmaster who encouraged me to start signing up to roles because I was reluctant at first. I almost thought I'd be taking roles away from somebody, or that I wasn't experienced enough to be taking on the roles, which is silly. Toastmasters want new members to sign up right away, and the quicker that you can sign up for every different role, it's going to help you so much throughout your Toastmasters journey, because it's going to take away fear around some of the roles that you've procrastinated on. For myself, it was the role of Toastmaster. I waited so long before I signed up to be Toastmaster of the meeting, and even to date, that is one of the more difficult or challenging roles that I find I am reluctant to sign up for. But I really believe had I jumped in the deep end and took on that Toastmaster role even earlier, I'd probably have more confidence around it today. So if you are a new member in Toastmasters, give yourself the goal of signing up for every different meeting role within the first few months. The next thing I wish I knew on day one of joining Toastmasters was to lean more on my mentor. I was given a mentor when I started with Toastmasters, and then a few weeks later, this particular member who was my mentor stopped attending club meetings. And that was challenging for me because he never returned to the club. And of course, I was able to figure things out. And thankfully, our Toastmasters Club has a lot of really great, strong members of Toastmasters who know a lot about what's going on, and they were able to help me out. It would have been nice to have that single point person to ask additional questions for so that I didn't have to go and figure it out on my own. And if you are a new member to Toastmasters and you have not yet been assigned a mentor, please talk to your club president or VP of education and try to figure out who your mentor is. And then once you have that mentor, be honest with them. Have a conversation, go for coffee, have a Zoom call, whatever works out best for you. But take the accountability of sharing your goals with your mentor and be really specific of how you want your mentor to help you out. What value do you want that individual to give you? If that individual hasn't reached out, don't cross your arms and get frustrated that they haven't done anything yet. You should be the one taking the initiative to reach out to that mentor and tell him or her what it is you hope to get out of this program, and that will help you build a great relationship, and that will get you more comfortable with Toastmasters early on. The next thing I wish I knew when I started out with Toastmasters is that all feedback is valuable. Perhaps it was a little bit of ego early on, but when I would get constructive criticism, or gifts, as we call them in the Toastmasters program, I would get defensive from time to time, thinking, well, why is this member telling me that I need to do this better? I thought I did that really well. And this defensiveness didn't do any benefit to me. I took the pats on the back, and anything that was negative, it wasn't helping me. And I think I could have grown a lot quicker if I would have realized that every Toastmasters Club member wanted to see me succeed. And that's how I feel, or started to feel, a couple of years into the program. As we would get new members, I wanted these people to improve. And when I gave them gifts or constructive criticism, that was me truly caring and wanting to elevate them as a speaker. And the same was the flip side. So if you get a few comments that you think are coming across as negative or telling you how to improve, I'm not saying all of them are 100% correct. They're very subjective. But take the benefits, the positive out of it, the areas where you think you can improve a little bit, because these other individuals, they're giving you that feedback so they can help you out. And on the flip side of this, all feedback is valuable. That means your feedback is valuable as well, because sometimes as new Toastmasters, we're hesitant to give other people evaluations or pieces of advice, but you have a unique perspective, being new to the club, and you should feel free to voice your opinion and share with others, because if you're going to be in this program for a long time, you're going to learn that everyone's viewpoint is valid in the program, and sometimes it's helpful having a fresh set of eyes or ears on a presentation, and as a new Toastmaster, that is what you bring. It took me several years to realize this, but Toastmasters helps you become a better listener just as much as it helps you become a better speaker. And when we think about the structure of a Toastmasters meeting, for many clubs, the first half is all about different speaking roles, where the second half of the meeting is very focused on evaluations. And to sign up for these evaluations and to give a solid evaluation to one of your fellow members, it means you need to be listening carefully and practicing those active listening skills. And once you start going to meetings week after week, month after month, eventually year after year, you learn that you become a much better listener. This would have been nice to know from day one, that I would improve my listening skills just as much as my speaking skills with Toastmasters. Another benefit about the Toastmasters program is that it helps you become a better leader as well. And there are plenty of leadership opportunities within Toastmasters. Through the Pathways program, there are requirements to sign up for various leadership type activities. And even the way a Toastmasters club is structured, there is an executive council which are various roles such as president, VP of education, VP of membership, sergeant at arms. These are the people who help Toastmasters clubs thrive. And by signing up for one of these leadership roles, you are getting deeper in your club, you're helping your club thrive, but you're also improving your own personal leadership skills, which is a massive skill set to have in any career. The final thing I wish I knew about Toastmasters from day one, and this is such a positive thing, the fact that it is a long-term commitment. I always laugh when I talk to people and they talk about Toastmasters as if it were something that they have graduated from. And they say, oh yeah, I used to do Toastmasters 20 years ago. It was a good program, but I finished it. And in my mind, that's the same as saying, yeah, I used to work out at the gym 10 years ago. I did it for about 6 months. It was great, but I finished it. We know that if you stop working out, that is going to affect your physical fitness and your shape and your ability to go for runs and all of those sorts of things. The same goes for public speaking in the sense of your presentation skills. You could have learned some things 10 years ago, but if you're not regularly practicing what you're learning and shaking the rust off on a regular basis, your public speaking skills, just like your muscles with the fitness example, are going to deteriorate. And I have learned this many times firsthand. I've gone sometimes a few months without attending Toastmasters meetings. And when I come back to the club, I get even more nervous than before. And I notice my voice is a bit shaky and I'm rusty and I'm not using body language effectively. And that is a great reminder that Toastmasters is something that we should commit to for the long term. We should plan to go on a regular basis, just like we get exercise on a regular basis, and this will help us be lifelong great communicators. I hope that I am a member of Toastmasters 10 years from now, just as I am right now a decade in. I fully intend to be part of this program for the foreseeable future. If you're thinking about joining a Toastmasters club, I hope this video, these 8 things I wish I knew, were helpful to you in making that decision. If you are on the fence, I encourage you, take that leap, sign up for your local Toastmasters club. For me, it's been one of the best clubs I've ever been a part of. The skills that you gain, as mentioned, not only speaking, but also listening and leadership skills, are incredibly valuable for life, and you'll probably meet a great community of individuals. If you are thinking of taking that journey, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel because I have many videos that are going to help you with your Toastmasters journey, from how to take on various roles to live examples of me taking on the roles so you can see how it's done in person. I hope that my channel will provide a lot of great content for you. Hit the thumbs up if this video was helpful to you, but overall, thank you so much for watching this video. I will catch you on the next one.